Hey y'all, it's Cecilia back at again with another video. So today, what I'm going to be doing is a mukbang. A mukbang discussion video. So I got Chipotle. Oh, I need to get my water. And my water in the Disneyland Gay Day cup. I was the last person to get this cup at Disneyland. And I've never been more happy. Oh shit, I just flew everything away. So what this discussion video today is about is, you'll probably see the title of the video. I'm calling this Getting Rid of My Books, a discussion in mukbang. That's the working title. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and about basically just how I want to, my buying habits in the future and how I want to do all that stuff. This is my bowl. She looks good. I just kind of want to start in this of like where this is coming from, my history of books and book buying, stuff like that. And I just want to start off with a disclaimer that this is not because I'm not telling anybody that this is how you should live your life, this is how you should do things. This is just my opinion and my basically fine-tuned to my specific situation. I always utilized my library as a kid. I never really bought a lot of books, just always from the library. The only time I bought books was like for school. I completely changed when I got to college. Because when I first moved here, I didn't know about the library that was literally like down the street. So I would buy books for once to read. And back home, I didn't have a library card because we had just moved to a different city. So I didn't even go into the process of getting a library card, so I just bought more books. But I didn't get a bookshelf until I think my sophomore year of college. I didn't have one here. I just kind of stacked like 10 books. But I had one at home and it made me so happy. It wasn't a huge one, it was like a cheap one from Amazon and it fit about $100. But this all changed when when my mom told me we were moving to Texas. And she told me she's not taking any of my books to Texas. And I was like, shit. So I basically got to decide how many books I wanted to keep, how many books I wanted to get rid of. So I decided to get rid of half my books. So now I have about 50 books. Yeah, I got rid of about half, maybe a little more than half of my books in just one foul swoop. That was in October of this year, about the same time I started my channel. And I put them all in a storage bin underneath my bed here at the dorm. And then my mom said I could take this, so this is where my books are now. So this is basically like a little summary history. So where I get most of my books, like before this moment, I get most of my books at either Goodwill or the half off books that's in Fullerton in this area, or Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. I wanted to change everything up to make it cheaper on myself because, girl, I am a broke college student. I could barely afford the Chipotle I bought today, but I did it anyways. So I was trying to decide how I wanted to do this. So, as you can see, I do have a Kindle, and I do read books on this Kindle, but I don't read on my Kindle as much as I should. And last month, I decided to go to the local library down here by my college, where you can get a library card as long as you go to the college, because usually it's you have to live in the city or county. I already love it. It's not the greatest library by any means, but it's cute and I enjoy her. So what I kind of wanted to do is that I wanted to switch my book buying. So my first idea was to just get rid of all my books in general, but then I realized that that's dumb. Mainly because I just did a book haul, like either last video or 2 videos ago. I did a video not too long ago. I did a book haul where I bought some books, and I'm like, Cece, why are you stupid? I don't know sometimes. But then I started thinking about like, well, let me just refine that idea. What if I just don't buy any more physical books, but start buying ebooks and using my library more often? So I started doing some research into this. Okay. So when I put in a spreadsheet of all the books that I want to read that I don't physically own already on either my Kindle or my physical shelf, which was about 120 books. It seems like a lot, but I used to have like 400, and recently I spent a whole day just going through and just deleting books that I didn't want to read anymore. So So out of the 120, I made 3 different columns. I made an Amazon, like if I bought those books on Amazon, if I bought those books on Book Depository, or if I bought them on Kindle. And I looked at all the prices of how they were at that moment, but of course, you know, prices vary, but this is just at that moment. And so when I calculated everything, about 76% of the books, of those 120 books, were cheaper on Kindle compared to buying them physically on Amazon, which is a huge percent when you think about it. Like, that's enormous. That's a lot. That's in my mind, that's saving a lot of money. When you look at that comparison to Book Depository, the percent's about 44%, but that's still a big percent, I feel like. So after I did that statistic, I decided to kind of average up the total and see how much the average book costed per site, because in my mind, I felt like Kindle books were significantly cheaper than physical books, and I'm kind of wrong. They're not significantly cheaper. So when I added up all of the books from the Amazon wish list, it came out to about $999.11. That's if I bought all the books at this moment and added them to my cart. And so the average of that is about $10.74. For Kindle, the total price if I bought them all now would be $851.84, which makes it to about an average of $9.16 a book. And for the Book Depository, total was $930.53, which is the average of $10.01. So when you look at those averages, $10.74, $9.16, and $10.01 are not that far apart in the grand scheme of things. Rather spending $9 on a book than $10 on a book, that's not a huge difference. But then I remember that sometimes they'll get Kindle deals of the day or Kindle deals of the week or month, where a book will be $1.99 for that day, which would make this total significantly cheaper in the grand scheme of things. Like last month, I bought Kings of the Wild for $1.99 because there was one day where the book was $1.99, so I took advantage of that. So then when I compared this, so next I wanted to see if comparison to the library of how I could read these books through my library. So when I calculated and I looked all these up on the catalog, by the way, this research took years. Not years, it took so long, but I'm actually glad I did this research. When I put all the books from my wish list into like the catalog to see if they were available at my local library, about 49% were available at my library, which is about half of the books are available at my library. Now, that's not a complete number because some percentage did go to books that were not out yet, because some of the books on my wish list come out in 2019. So, of course, if I take those out, the percentage would be larger. That's really interesting to me too. And when I was looking through all of these, most, if not all of them, didn't have a hold on them. And if they had a hold on them, the longest hold I saw was 15 days, which is not ridiculous at all. The library that's in my in this college town is very small. There's like 2 branches. They're small libraries, but they're not. But again, they had half the books that I wanted to read, which is great. But so basically, when I was looking into these, I thought it was really interesting. Kind of just this dynamic and just how this thought. And I kind of wanted just to conclude of like what my my conclusion is after all of this. Sorry, I feel like I've like not eaten a lot. Let me take some bites. So in conclusion, I think that the rule I'm going to set myself for buying books physically and ebookly, because I realize that I'm not going to ban myself from buying physical books ever again, because that's dumb. But I think that my limit for right now is that I'm not going to spend more than $5 on a book, which might seem ludicrous and crazy, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to utilize my library more. I'm going to take advantage of those Kindle deals that if I see a book I really want to read is on sale that day for $1.99, my ass is going to buy it. And if I happen to go to, like, half-off books, like if I'm unhauling books and I'm taking them there, if I see a book I really want to read for $3.99, I shouldn't say, oh, it's physical, you can't buy it, because again, it's realistically, when's the next time you're gonna find that book for $3.99? Not for a while, so might as well get it. And I feel like what kind of brought this whole discussion onto myself was that the way I unhaul books is that if I read it, if I do not absolutely love it, I don't keep it, because I don't have enough space to keep it. I don't know if you guys seen my dorm room, but it's not huge. And of course I have a roommate, so it's not just my room. And I need to start thinking about the future in terms of my books, because of course college ends in May, and I'm either going to 3 different areas for the summer. I'm either going back home to Texas, which means I'm going to have to drive all these to Texas. I'm either going to stay with my great aunts in San Diego, which is about 2 hours from here. And again, gonna have to lug these with me, or somehow get my own apartment, which again, gonna have to figure out what to do with these. And I want to have as least amount of physical books as possible, so I don't have to do a massive unhaul and getting rid of books that I actually want to read. And I think that this is gonna be a good system for me of not trying to spend more. I think the only exception, there's going to be 2 exceptions, I believe, to my $5 rule. Is that, of course, if it's for school, that's a given. I'm not going to say, oh, Cece, that textbook's not more than $5. Guess you don't pass. Like, no, that's stupid. But I think that my other stipulation is because I'm going to be, announcement, I'm one of a co-hosts for a book club that we're starting in January. And, of course, when I looked at the January book on Amazon and my Kindle, it's $9.99. And of course I want to read the book for our book club, and so I'm not going to limit myself to the book clubs that I host. But every other medium, I'm not spending more than $5. And I want to see how this goes. Maybe in 6 months I'll do a check-in in June around my birthday, and do a check-in of basically how this has gone for me and how I'm feeling about all of this, because I think that would be a good idea. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do a check-in, or if you want more discussion videos, failed mukbangs, because again, I'm barely eating any of this Chipotle. If you want any more stuff like this, then let me know. Sorry, this is a random setup just so I can physically eat, because I didn't want to eat on the floor. Let me know if you like this setup more than the one I've been doing next to my books. This one's more comfortable because I'm sitting on a chair, but I feel like you don't see my books, and I feel like it's less appealing. I feel like it's less appealing to look at. But yeah, that is my video today. Let me know if you agree with some of my points, if you feel similar ways towards these things for me. And I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye.